viewers, and welcome to Sacred News. My name is Victoria Ibibemi.
And I am Emmanuel Samson.
Thank you for staying with us.
Our story today is about a man named Elimelech, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. He relocated with his family to move when the famine in Israel became severe. This situation in Nigeria context is known as Japa. However, things went bad for the family. Instead of enjoying the supposed lunar pasture, Elimelech and his two sons, Mahlon and Chilon, within the space of 10 years, died in the land of Moab where they ran to for survival.
Yesterday, one of our reporters was at the Elimelech residence for details of the story.
Hello, I am at Elimelech's residence, and all effort to hear from Naomi is abortive as she is still grieving over her loss. However, one of her daughter-in-law has granted us audience. Let's hear from her. Hi Ruth, please can you tell us what happened?
My mother-in-law came to our country, Moab, with our family about 10 years ago. We lived in the same neighborhood. Later on, I fell in love with Mahlon and got married into the family thereafter. Now, look at me.
What about your mother-in-law?
This is too much loss for any woman or mother to bear. This is really a bitter and horrible experience for her, losing her husband and two sons.
So what is the plan on ground?
My mother-in-law is planning to go back home now that God has visited Israel with abundant supply. As for me, I'm planning to go with her. I'm leaving Moab for good.
Thank you, Ruth. That's all we can take for now. I am Precious Oluwole, reporting for Sacred News. Back to the studio.
That was Precious Oluwole. We'll now be going on a commercial break. We'll be back for the rest of the story. Don't go away.
Consider this as your last lifeline.
This man is better off dead than alive.
We had an agreement. I need you to sack Lisa.
Thompson or whatever your name is, why did you threaten my wife with dogs?
Just as you said, our marriage was on contract, and that contract ends now.
Yes, sir, you know me. My husband is the chef here.
Anyway, I've made up my mind to be happy today.
Welcome back. We learned that Naomi is at the airport to board a flight to Israel, and our reporter, who eventually gained audience with her, is standing by her. Let's hear from them.
Thank you, ma'am, for speaking with Sacred News. Please, can you tell us exactly what happened?
Over 10 years ago, we lived happily and in abundance when the famine ravaged our land. My husband decided that we relocate to another country where there is food. I thought it wasn't a good idea, but I had to follow him down to Moab. While in Moab, I lost my husband and two sons. Now my hands are empty. I learned that God Almighty has visited my people in Israel. I decided to go back home. Perhaps He will show me mercy.
What about Opa?
She followed us to this point. My mother-in-law tried to convince us we should go back to our parents so we can remarry, but we did not want to leave her. When she pressed further, Opa eventually went back.
What about you, Ruth? Don't you want to remarry?
The most important thing for me now is that I am determined to follow my mother-in-law to Israel. No going back. This is all I can say for now.
Thank you, Ruth. That's all we can take for now. Back to the studio.
Now we are looking up with our studio in Israel to know their current state of affairs.
Welcome to Sacred News in Israel. I am Peter Chatter. Israel had just recovered from a famine that ravaged the land for some years. It was an unpleasant situation. They suffered so much until God visited them. Our reporter, who is in Bethlehem, Judah, had an exclusive interview with relatives of late Elimelech.
Sir, are you aware that your relative Elimelech and his two sons died in Moab?
Yes, it was a sad news for all of us.
What do you have to say about his relocation?
When the hunger became unbearable, he told us of his plans to relocate.
At least to find a greener pasture until the famine is over.
I personally don't see anything wrong in that. My only concern was why he chose Moab, so I asked him to think about his decision making.
Do you have any idea of what caused the famine in Israel?
Israel is a nation blessed by God, but whenever we disobey him, he punishes us by allowing evil to happen to us. I'm sure that's the cause, but thank God for visiting us back and restoring us. Now we have surplus food in Israel, and those who relocated are coming back.
Thank you. I am Angela Olorunleke. Back to the studio.
Thank you, Angela. Thanks for staying with us. I am Beto Chata. We will now take you back to our Kaduna studio. Bye for now.
Thank you. On a lighter note, do you think it is good to relocate to greener pasture when things go bad in your country?
Well, I don't see anything wrong with that. Today's story reminds me of Nigeria's current situation. To Japa is now the latest trend. But I feel you have to ask God before you relocate to another country.
I feel it is not in God's will for some people to Japa. I have heard some people say, look before you leap. Sometimes looks can be deceptive. In my own opinion, it should be ask God before you take a step. With God, you can never make a mistake. That's all we can take for today. Till we come your way next week again. I am Emmanuel Samson.
And I'm Victoria Ibibemi.